Hey everyone, it's your name here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a topic that's a bit complicated. We're talking about the whitest countries outside of Europe that are also considered safe to live in. I know that focusing on race can be fraught with problems, but demographics play a role in how people perceive places. We'll look at the demographics, cost of living, and safety factors of these countries. It's going to be a wild ride, so buckle up. First up, we've got Australia, the land of Vegemite, kangaroos, and stunning landscapes that range from sun-kissed beaches to the rugged outback. It's also home to a large population of people with European ancestry, making it a melting pot of cultures. Australia is incredibly diverse, with significant immigration from Asia, particularly China and India, adding to its rich cultural tapestry. While Australia has a history of being associated with a certain type of crocodile hunter, it's becoming increasingly multicultural, celebrating various traditions and festivals. Now, let's talk cost of living. Australia is notoriously expensive, especially in major cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Rent is sky high, and finding affordable housing can be a challenge. Groceries can feel like a luxury, with prices for everyday items often higher than you'd expect. And let's not forget about coffee. A decent cup of coffee is pricey, but for many, it's a daily necessity. But hey, at least it's safe, right? Australia consistently ranks highly on global safety indices, making it one of the safest places to live. With low crime rates and a generally peaceful society, Australia might be your jam if you value safety and tranquility. So, if you're looking for a place where you can leave your doors unlocked and feel secure, Australia might just be the perfect place for you. Next up, we're hopping across the ditch to New Zealand, the land of hobbits and breathtaking landscapes. Known for its stunning natural beauty, New Zealand has become a favorite destination for travelers and filmmakers alike. From the rolling hills of Hobbiton to the majestic fjords of Milford Sound, the scenery here is nothing short of magical. Like Australia, New Zealand has a history of European colonization, reflected in its population makeup. The influence of British settlers is evident in the architecture, culture, and even the accents you hear on the streets. However, New Zealand is becoming more diverse, with growing Asian and Pacific Islander communities. This multicultural blend is celebrated through various festivals and events, adding vibrant colors and flavors to the Kiwi lifestyle. New Zealand isn't quite as expensive as Australia, but housing, especially in Auckland, can be a real pain point. The real estate market has seen significant growth, making it challenging for first-time buyers. But hey, at least the scenery is free, right? With its stunning mountains, pristine beaches, and endless hiking trails, New Zealand offers a natural playground for outdoor enthusiasts. And speaking of free, let's talk safety. New Zealand is not just beautiful, but also incredibly safe. New Zealand is consistently ranked as one of the safest countries in the world, with low crime rates and a high level of social trust. This makes it an ideal place for families and solo travelers alike. If you're looking for a place to embrace the great outdoors, New Zealand might be the place for you. Whether it's hiking through lush forests, kayaking in crystal-clear rivers, or camping under the stars, the adventures are endless. Let's address the elephant in the room, the United States. The U.S. is often called a melting pot, but some things just don't blend as seamlessly as others. While the majority of Americans identify as white, there are significant Hispanic, Black, Asian, and Native American populations. The U.S. is incredibly segregated, with deep racial and economic divides. The cost of living varies wildly depending on where you are. Big cities like New York and San Francisco are notoriously expensive, and of course, healthcare is a whole other can of worms. The U.S. has a higher crime rate than many other developed countries, and gun violence is a serious problem. However, crime rates vary significantly by location, so it's important to do your research. Next up, we're heading down to South America, to Argentina. Argentina was colonized by Spain and experienced a massive wave of European immigration in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This legacy is still evident in Argentina's culture, architecture, and demographics. But Argentina is also home to a diverse mix of other ethnicities, including indigenous peoples and a growing Asian community. Argentina has experienced some economic ups and downs, but overall, it's still a relatively affordable place to live. Argentina has a higher crime rate than some other countries on this list, but it's generally considered safe for tourists and expats. Just be sure to take the usual precautions and you'll be fine. Nestled between Argentina and Brazil, we find Uruguay, a small but mighty country with a large European-descended population. Uruguay often gets overlooked, but it has a lot to offer, from its beautiful beaches to its progressive social policies. Uruguay has a predominantly European-descended population due to its history of immigration from Spain, Italy, and other European countries. However, Uruguay is also home to a growing Afro-Uruguayan population and smaller indigenous communities. Uruguay is not the cheapest country in South America, but it's still relatively affordable. Uruguay is considered one of the safest countries in South America, with low crime rates and a peaceful society. If you're looking for a tranquil and welcoming place to call home, Uruguay might be worth a closer look. Next, we're traveling down the long, skinny spine of South America to Chile. Chile has a relatively homogeneous population, with the majority of Chileans identifying as white, primarily of Spanish descent. However, Chile also has a significant indigenous population, including the Mapuche people. Chile is not the cheapest country in South America, but it's not the most expensive either. It falls somewhere in the middle, with a relatively stable economy and a good standard of living. Chile is considered one of the safest countries in South America, with low crime rates and a stable political system. If you're looking for a beautiful and safe place to live, Chile might be a good option. Now we're jumping continents to South Africa, a country known for its stunning landscapes, vibrant cities, and rich cultural heritage. South Africa is often called the Rainbow Nation because of its diverse population, which includes a mix of ethnicities, languages, and traditions. This diversity is a product of South Africa's long and tumultuous history, marked by colonization, apartheid, and liberation. The scars of these periods are still visible today. However, South Africa is still grappling with the legacy of its past. The struggle for equality and justice continues as the nation works to heal and rebuild. Racial and economic inequality remain major challenges. Many communities still face significant hardships, and the gap between the rich and poor is stark. On the economic front, South Africa is generally more affordable than North America or Europe, making it an attractive destination for many. However, it's not the cheapest country in Africa. The cost of living can vary widely depending on your lifestyle and where you choose to live. Urban areas tend to be more expensive, while rural areas offer a more affordable way of life. Each region has its own unique charm and challenges. South Africa has a higher crime rate than many other countries on this list, which can be a concern for both residents and visitors. It's important to be aware of your surroundings and take necessary precautions to stay safe. However, with a little common sense and preparation, it's possible to have a safe and enjoyable experience in this beautiful and diverse country. Next, we're heading to the Middle East, to Israel, a country that's both ancient and modern. Israel is the world's only Jewish majority state, and its demographics reflect that. However, Israel is also home to a significant Arab population, as well as smaller communities of Christians, Druze, and other groups. Israel can be an expensive place to live, especially in major cities like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. The overall cost of living is comparable to many European countries. Israel has a complex security situation, but the Israeli government takes security very seriously. Let's samba our way back to South America to Brazil, a country that practically explodes with color and rhythm. Brazil has a complex racial and ethnic makeup, with a significant Afro-Brazilian population and a long history of European immigration. This has resulted in a larger than you might expect white population, particularly in the southern regions. Brazil's history has created a more fluid approach to race, with a greater emphasis on cultural blending. Brazil is generally more affordable than North America or Europe, but prices can vary greatly. Crime can be a concern, particularly in major cities. However, Brazil is also a country of incredible warmth and hospitality. With a little common sense and awareness, it's possible to have a safe and unforgettable experience. And finally, we've reached the last country on our list, Canada. Canada has a long history of immigration, and its population reflects that. While the majority of Canadians identify as white, there are significant populations of visible minorities, particularly in urban centers. Canada truly values diversity and multiculturalism, with official policies to promote inclusivity. Plus, Canada has universal health care, which is a huge plus. Canada can be a bit pricey, especially in the larger cities. Housing can be a challenge, and the winters can be brutal. But for me, the trade-off is worth it. Canada offers a quality of life that's hard to beat. Well, there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of the whitest countries outside of Europe that are also considered safe to live in. I know this was a bit of a different video, and I appreciate you sticking with me as we navigated this complex and often sensitive topic. Remember, demographics are just one small piece of the puzzle when it comes to understanding a country. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And be sure to let me know in the comments which country you'd consider moving to and why. Until next time, stay curious.